Hi guys, this is a Sister Wives update for November 2023 because Cody, McKelty, Mary, and Maddie have been on podcasts spilling tea, running their mouth all over this month. So let's get into it. Madison, Janelle, and Cody's oldest daughter, and Cody's one-time favorite child, I think, went on a random podcast called Somewhat Basic that I think her friend hosts. So I think this must have been a favor because Maddie's just not one to just go speaking on platforms or anything like that. People tend to spill by accident on podcasts, so I was excited to see what she had to say. And I think we know now where Maddie stands. Here are a few of the best points. Madison says she now wants to stay in North Carolina. She basically said that since the last year and a half, there's really nothing to go back to with her family. Sad but true. They always wanted to move back to Montana or Wyoming or something closer to the family for a long time. They were just waiting for Caleb to get his elevator mechanic license. But now she has no intentions to do that. I mean, it's very toxic over there anyway. She says if she did move back, it would probably be Utah, but she says that she's not a city person and it has a more city-ish vibe than where she is now. Maddie said that Janelle wanted to live in Vegas forever, but Cody has a gypsy soul and wanted to move because he can't stay in one place. Gypsy soul is a kind way of saying it. Maddie liked the cul-de-sac the best of all the places they lived when she was growing up. She felt really awkward about bringing friends over to the Utah Lehigh house. If only Janelle stayed in Vegas, she would have a house, an asset. Don't even get me started on what a mistake leaving Vegas was. The saddest part about the interview was that she said, that her kids don't recognize Cody anymore and they don't have much of a relationship. And her stance is very much that she's not going to force a relationship in their lives because being in their lives should be a privilege. And she did say that Janelle and Christine make a lot of effort and some of her siblings do too. The first 8 kids in the family are especially close. And just because you're blood, it doesn't give you access to my kids, she said. Do you guys agree with Maddie's opinion? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's move on to Cody's cringy AF podcast appearance on something called Mormonism Live. The overall vibe is that Cody kind of railed on Mormonism a lot and his previous religion's leaders, so no idea why he chose to be on this podcast specifically. Here were the best points in my opinion. Cody said that he has a love-hate relationship with his producer for Sister Wives. He antagonizes him like a brother, and that the biggest way the show contributed to issues and drama in the family is that when they have to talk about things that are hard, it's in their face over and over. Something that was forgotten maybe suddenly it's back in a flashback and they have to face it and relive it over and over. He did admit that there's a lot of blame to be laid on his own feet and that he was yelled at by his own sister at Christmas for that patriarchy comment he made in one episode. Remember the one about, I'm gonna bring back patriarchy? And he apparently had to pace and walk away because he couldn't believe that she was judging him in his darkest moment. Well, I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall at that Christmas, and go Cody's sister. I like her already. And of course he brings up sacred loneliness of all things. I thought that topic died earlier in the season, but he says it's a real thing, and at one point it may get too hard. I mean, if Mary was doing the sacred loneliness, count me the heck out. I mean, no one's here waiting lonely for 7 years or whatever. He said that the book was about women in the 1800s, so clearly times have changed. I mean, we're not riding horses anymore and we're not doing sacred loneliness. He also talked about the one house idea and how Christine rejecting it made him realize that in some way the family was in the way of his goals for plural marriage, and he got dark and cynical. So I guess this was more of a tipping point than we had initially thought as fans. Maybe this was the turning point. He also insinuated that he didn't court Mary-Christine and Janelle long enough. He said, "I married 3 women that I courted less than 4 months. My 4th wife we courted for 10 months, as if this again gives Robin some type of like step up or something. He said, "Nobody in our church told us we were getting into. It was a cult thought process. People who were struggling in their marriage in polygamy were still promoting polygamy." So even he says his dad's family wasn't happy, but his dad died with 3 wives still. There was no breakdown in their relationship, but were they happy? I don't think so, according to Cody. He said he had a recent discussion with Robin. Out of nowhere, he just said this, and he admitted that if he hadn't gone through the breakups, then it would be starting now. It was sort of inevitable. He sees it as inevitable. So if he sees it as inevitable, why is he putting so much blame on Christine then? Right? And Cody kept making kind of misogynistic remarks about how men are always looking for another woman and women are always looking for a better man. Even the strongest monogamist, he says, looks over there and says, "Hubba, hubba." I mean, I clearly rolled my eyes at this. He said, "It's nature endorsed." Ugh, I mean, what more is there to say to that? That's cringy. Now, let's go to Mary's Fridays with Friends from recent times. Mary is making it really clear that she's no longer a sister wife. She's ready to date, and she even talked about what she's looking for in a man, specifically someone who's tall and who has kind eyes, or actually that's kind. And I really hope Mary finds what she's looking for. There is a picture of Mary circling around with a man sitting across the table from her. Fans love to think this is a date, just like they thought that her friend Blair was like her new boyfriend, but who knows? It could be this wild speculation. It could be a business partner, a family member. There's a lot of people in Mary's family, don't forget. But yes, people are running with this because we all want Mary to date and stop being in her sacred loneliness, I guess. Mary also offered some insight about the seasons and how they're filmed, which I thought was interesting. Apparently, one season will span around 1 year. And so season 18 started filming in fall 2021, and I think will span until late 2022. So it all makes sense. And she also did an interview with People magazine about the end of her marriage in 2022, because it's all coming to a head at later this season. She said, "100% gave it my all. I did everything in my power that I could do. And if I would have walked away any sooner, there would have always been a question in my mind of, did I do everything that I can do? But I'm very confident knowing that I did everything that I could do, and I'm very at peace with the timing of it and how it all played out." She also mentioned she never saw it coming, except, I mean, we all saw it coming. No one can say, though, that Mary didn't try, that's for sure. She's not someone who just gave up on a relationship like that, but the denial was real. And finally, Mykelti. I watched her Patreon recap of the latest episode, and while she's getting a lot of heat online from fans about telling Robin before her mom about her twin pregnancy, and overall, I think just about her support for Robin and Cody, I even noticed in my comments that people are definitely turning on Mykelti and Tony for some reason, which, I mean, they're just more public, so maybe that's where it's coming from. And she revealed that it's been getting to her. And like, I think last Sunday, she said she was like overall in a bad mood and a funk. And she's not handling the negativity well, because she actually reads the comments because she needs to block the people. So she has to see it, and she cries about it. People are being mean to Mykelti. She, she's getting moody, and she says that it affects Tony and her whole family. So I hope she can find a way to not look at the comments. Maybe someone else should. I'm thinking she needs to get away from the comments because that can really get to a person. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening my whole way through. I'll have another update soon, but this was my first update for Sister Wives November 2023. Have a great night, everybody. Bye. Here are the top 5 revelations from Gwendolyn about what Cody and Robin did at her wedding. More tea has been spilled from Gwendolyn Brown herself, the 11th Brown child, about what exactly happened when Robin and Cody showed up to her wedding like 2 hours late and just chilled by themselves in the background super awkwardly. Gwen revealed a lot on a YouTube live, and here are the top 5 things she revealed. The wedding was not filmed for Sister Wives, as great as that would have been. I mean, it would have been TV gold, guys. Number 5. Gwen says that Cody did not walk her down the aisle as per tradition. She said, "I didn't want to be walked. You know, I felt like if somebody would have walked me down the aisle that wasn't my dad, it would have been a serious statement. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go by myself." I mean, why does that make me so sad? Just thinking back to the big hoopla Cody had made about Aspen's wedding, Maddie's wedding, it was like such a big focus. Mykelti's wedding, I mean, Gwen deserved that same treatment, that same hoopla. So it does make me sad to hear that. Not only that, Gwen said that she didn't even take a picture with Cody at her wedding. He showed up too late and missed all the pictures. The most that happened was a hug, apparently, which is something, but is that enough? I don't know. Number 4, Gwen said that some family members were mad that Cody and Robin showed up but kept it together and didn't make a scene or anything like that. Oh, you know, they just talked behind their backs there. So there was probably a fair amount of gossiping going on at Gwen's wedding, whispers maybe, awkward glances, I imagine, in my mind. So although she didn't say who was mad specifically, she didn't say, and I mean, I just imagine maybe Garrison and Gabriel, but that's just a guess. Probably more people, but they just tend to speak their mind, and they're very much, in a feud with Cody right now. So she had said some people were mad that he was there because they weren't aware that I was yeah, you can come. So a few people were like, how dare you show up? But other than that, it was fine. Those people didn't say it to his face. Nobody says bad things to people's faces. They just gossip about it behind their backs. I mean, such a healthy communication style, right? That is not good. It's not good. So number 3, Gwen said that Robin and Cody basically didn't hang out with anyone at the wedding. They were just kind of there. Maybe to just say they were there, I don't know. The only person they really interacted with in the end was Mykelti. I guess she still has this loyalty to Robin from babysitting her kids early on. Gwen says Mykelti is basically one of the only kids that have a relationship with Robin and Cody, I guess. Maybe there's more, but super awkward though to just not talk to anyone else and just kind of sit there in the background. They did help with Mykelti's kids apparently, which was nice. I mean, it can't be easy for Mykelti to keep a relationship with Robin. Number 2, there was an awkward hug with Robin apparently. Gwen said that she figures Robin was surprised that she hugged her, but she thought it was good to extend an olive branch because after all, she was her guest, she was invited. Gwen had said, when I did give her a hug, she stepped aside and looked like she expected me to push her away and go around her. I felt a little bad. Robin, I would not be surprised that she feels like enemy number 1, and hopefully she does not look at social media comments or articles online. But I also remember once she went live with Mary on Instagram, and she had made a comment oh yeah, you're gonna get like really bad comments now that I'm here. So I think she's kind of like aware of what people are saying about her online and stuff. And number one, Gwen said he came, he didn't cause a fight, and most importantly, he didn't do his scary wedding dance. So I count this as a win. So there you go. No Cody wedding dance. That's great. Hallelujah. But at the same time, isn't it kind of like a tradition to see that happen? Honestly, maybe it would have pepped things up and made things less awkward. I don't know. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening the whole way through. I'll be back with more updates. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think of all this. Bye, guys. This is a part 2 July 2023 Sister Wives update plus a Hunter Brown update. This is what happens when the day after my July 2023 Sister Wives update, the whole family posts like a million pictures. So I have to do part 2 now. So Gwendlyn and B got married this weekend, and it resulted in probably an awkward party at a place called the Mayor Flagstaff, which has a rooftop patio. So the whole family was there, despite the crazy tension between some of them, minus 2 of Janelle's kids, Maddie and Savannah, who are in North Carolina, and Gwen's brother, Peyton. Mykelti's kids were basically the stars of the whole reception, literally going from arm to arm to arm. They were with Hunter, they were with Logan and Michelle, they were with Robin and Cody, and they're just so cute. And in a way, kids help bring everyone together. Logan and Hunter were competing for fun uncle status, I think. That's the vibe I get. Logan and Hunter are basically the MVPs of the family. I wonder what their relationship with Cody is. That's not really like public, but I could see them kind of siding with Garrison and Gabriel. All the wives were in one place, but Cody and Robin seemed to stay in the background, and they were not in a big family photo that was taken, but David was. We saw Robin in a video holding a child in the background. I think maybe it was Mykelti's daughter Avalon, and Cody is seen here like giving one of Mykelti's boys a bottle. So yeah, he was just kind of like in the back, but he showed up, and showing up is important. Despite any tension, people should just still always show up. Not sure if he showed up later, therefore missed the family picture, or maybe he was there the whole time but chose not to be a part of it. Hard to tell, but the venue looked nice. Janelle said something interesting under her image drop from the event. She had said, "Some photos from Gwen and B's wedding get together this weekend. Mykelti and Tony's twins are so much fun. Avalon wouldn't hold still long enough. Sadly, Maddie and Caleb couldn't make it, and Savannah is with them for the summer. And before you guys say anything, Michelle and Logan's life goal is to be funnest aunt and uncle ever, quote unquote." So I don't know how to interpret this post. Did Janelle just say that Michelle and Logan don't want kids and that they just want to be like a fun uncle and aunt only forever? That's a pretty big thing to kind of just put in a caption, casually mention, but I guess I do agree that it's never good to constantly be asking couples, when are you having kids? When are you having kids? When you don't know the backstory. She probably just wanted to avoid those types of comments because they can come off kind of rude. Mary and Leon were at the wedding as well, so it was nice that they were reunited. I don't know how many times they get to see each other. I don't know. And I thought it was nice that they showed up for Gwendlyn even from kind of far away. Gwendlyn has mentioned that Leon is very supportive of her and that they had hung out at Logan's wedding and that they're on super good terms, but they did have to kind of go out of their way to make it to her shindig. Overall, they still show up and put the tension aside for big family events. I don't know if it was filmed. I couldn't catch like cameramen in the background or anything like that, but I kind of hope it was. But it has to be awkward a bit. I mean, do we think that David and Cody interacted at all? What do we think about that? Let's talk about Hunter Elias Brown now, because he's such a beloved Brown, and now his Instagram profile is not set to private, so I feel better about talking about him and putting his pictures up. Hunter is the second oldest son in the family. He is Janelle's son with Cody and Logan's little brother. So Hunter's pictures on his Instagram either feature his family or his girlfriend Audrey, which tells you a lot. He's been with her for a while, actually. In one caption, he actually says, "Family is what matters most." And we also know that Hunter, I believe, lives in Vegas. He received his master's in nursing at Johns Hopkins University, and his picture is on the wall there, apparently. And he said, "My greatest and possibly only achievement over these past 2 years was having my picture displayed in the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing. Finally finished with my master's, and blessed to say it is from basically the best MSN MEN program in the US. Grateful for my experience and the people I met and knew along the way." I mean, Hunter's so smart, right? Like, he was also Logan's best man last year and likes to take pictures from like underneath where people kind of like are looking down. He's been to 2 weddings in a very short while recently, his friends and now Gwendolyn. So it's full on wedding season, and it's super ironic to me that Hunter hated Vegas with a passion when they moved there, but that now he lives there now. So it's like a full circle moment. Remember that in like, I think it was like season 3 or something, where he was like, they couldn't get through to him because he like hated Vegas. Anyways, that is it for now. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching my part 2 Sister Wives update for July 2023. Bye, guys. This is a Sister Wives update for July 2023. Let's catch up with Robin, Cody, Mary, Christine, and Janelle. There's also big wedding news this month, and watch until the end for my hot take on the Sister Wives Season 18 teaser that was just released. So let's start with Robin Brown, because you may be wondering, like me, where the heck is Robin? A source told The Sun that Cody is actually blaming Robin for his separations, something about her not having tried hard enough to keep the family together, as if that was her sole responsibility. And honestly, we all feel a way about Robin, but it's not exactly fair to blame her if this is actually true. As for all the talk about Robin and Cody not doing well, etc., potentially splitting, do I think they'll ever break up? Absolutely not. I don't even believe any of the split rumors at this point. Cody and Robin were actually spotted at a local festival together this month, looking like a normal couple would, like arguing about whether or not to buy an antique or something. And in the season 18 trailer, Robin was shown having a full-on crying fit about her broken dreams of being on the porch with her sister wives and growing old. It was a whole thing, and the memes about this just keep on coming. I mean, these are from Reddit, and they are so funny. Which one's your favorite? As for Cody, we know that he did send a cameo to someone asking him to reveal a secret, quote unquote. And the secret that Cody decided to reveal was that he was with some of his friends and that they would be on the show with him talking about his upcoming divorce. And one of those friends were actually Nathan. You may remember Nathan. He's appeared on the show before, and I think he's actually Mary's brother-in-law. So kind of awkward if the divorce he's talking about is with Mary. It's probably a different one, just given that. But hey, Cody's out here getting some friend support. Hopefully they can actually reason with him, and hopefully they're giving him good advice, and he's gonna listen. But like Robin says, Cody's gonna do what Cody's gonna do. So Christine now, let's talk about Christine. Christine this month continued to gush about the love of her life, David, as they're still on the fast track to getting married probably really soon. She said under these pics, "As soon as I saw you, I knew a grand adventure was about to happen, and adventuring with you has been the grandest time of my life." And now for some wedding news. Based on social media, it looks like Gwendolyn and her fiance B tied the knot in Flagstaff this weekend. A friend had posted a video of them taking a wedding shot, and Mary posted a picture of her and Leo dressed up and said something like, "Best part of the day for me," or something. So I'm sure we'll see more pictures from the family soon, but yes, by all appearances, seems like Gwen may well be a married woman now, so congratulations to Gwendolyn. And in more wedding news, yes, there's a lot of wedding news. Christine and Cody now have something else in common too, because photos were posted and Christine seems to have officiated a wedding recently. I bet her dancing at the reception was a lot better than whatever Cody's dance moves were at his friend's wedding, just saying. And Christine was also spotted wedding dress shopping. So it seems like her wedding will be happening just fast and furious as well. I predict in like the next month or something. Christine and David are also, of course, continuing to work on their brand new amazing house. They're getting work done on their backyard to make it fun for their grandkids. And now they added some cute details to their concrete driveway, and Christine just loves it so much she had to post on Instagram. So also, Christine spent the 4th of July with David, her girls, and grandkids. She says they were actually able to see the fireworks from her balcony. And Peyton and Gwen were MIA. Actually, Peyton's been MIA a lot, so don't know what's going on there. But she had said, "I hope everyone had an incredible Independence Day. My family and I enjoyed fireworks from my balcony. We could see the entire valley lighting up. Hashtag July 4th, 2023. And Mary, who I personally think is really being treated unfairly by Cody to the extreme. I don't know. I really feel like Mary gave Cody too many chances. Let's remember, she was the first wife and helped him get all these wives, and now he seems to have completely turned on her, and especially in his confessionals. And he's just been brutal. Anyways, Mary's just trying to empower herself again with her friends, like her friend Jen. And she was back at Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, because, she probably needs positivity in California. She said, "Fun in the California sunshine? Yes, please." So, yes, is it just me, or are the wives at Disneyland a lot? She was recently there with actually one of her male friends even, but I don't think it's like that, no matter what the other bloggers say. I'm getting a total friend vibe, not a new man vibe. But she had said, "This is me. This is how I choose to live and be. Situations and experiences may cause my life plans to shift," aka, obviously she probably means her separation. "People come and go. There may be moments that cause me to pause, reflect, and pivot. The past year has been that for me, but I've recently been feeling a shift as I move forward through it all and towards something different. Details on the different have yet to fully unveil themselves to me. In due time, I'm sure. Until then, to me, that I am right now will continue to embrace this beautiful thing called life, and will continue building and creating and serving. There is so much more to come." So yeah, Mary's pivoting, trying to find something a new purpose, let's say, but good for Mary. And for anyone wondering, Leo seems to be doing well. I think, they still live in Colorado, or in Colorado. Janelle has been on the go as usual as well. She visited the Salt Springs boating place with her sister, who seems to be one of her favorite travel partners. And she had said, "Fun day at Salt Springs Run yesterday. I've never had the experience of going somewhere, anchoring a boat, and spending the day in and out of the water. So much fun and so relaxing. I slept so good last night." She also, of course, went to Epcot and Disney World with her sister. So yeah, Mary and Janelle both went to Disney. It's a whole thing. And she also came back home and saw the new Indiana Jones movie with Garrison and Gabriel. Now, let's talk about season 18 because the teaser just came out as just crazy and everything. I don't know whether or not to be happy that the show is back or literally cry because the family is like so messed up right now. I have a full video breakdown of the teaser and I'll link that in the description. But basically, there are two really explosive moments in the teaser that I'm sure made the cameraman like squirm. Janelle tells Cody to shut his effing mouth, and Robin freaks out in tears about, her dream of the port, having her sister wives there with her kids and grandkids, which is kind of interesting and also makes no sense. I don't think she'd actually want to be on the porch with them, to be honest. They never hung out in the first place. Maybe with Mary, but I guess everyone has a dream about growing older and what that looks like. And that was it for Robin. One thing that I do want to see in season 18 is some type of confrontation between the wives and Robin. Robin has never really been confronted by the wives on camera, just kind of talked about a little bit, And so, maybe things would be clearer if they actually had a real conversation between the wives. And maybe Nancy can come down for that. Remember their therapist, Nancy? Just saying, it may help. They might need reinforcement because, communication doesn't seem to be the best all the time between them. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the whole way through to my Sister Wives update for July 2023. Please leave a comment, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more updates. Bye, guys!
I wanted to sit on a porch with my sister wives, with our kids and our grandkids.
Hi guys, it's finally here! The Sister Wives Season 18 teaser, or first look as they say, just dropped, and it's crazy intense and filled with drama. Everyone's angry, the whole family is just falling apart, and Robin is having a full-on fit. So let's break it down because there's a lot to talk about. Watch until the very end for the premiere date, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So the teaser starts with Janelle asking Cody a simple question, if he even still wants plural marriage, because she can't tell. And we can't tell, right? And so this must have been just before they separated. And Cody, I guess, will be continuing to just go in on Mary in his confessionals. He says that Christine's gone, things are bad with Janelle, and he doesn't know what to do with Mary. Poor Mary. And the sad thing is, at this point in the saga, Mary was still holding out hope. She tells him that. And Cody is just I don't even know why she lives in Flagstaff anymore. What a douche. I totally get now why Mary is into the empowerment retreats and the quotes. She needs it. All the empowerment after dealing with someone totally disrespecting her. I don't know why he's so savage towards Mary in his confessionals. Is that necessary? Janelle's just out. She opens up to Christine in the teaser that she doesn't want to be married anymore either. And Christine's reaction is what? Remember how for a long time, Janelle was this is Christine's journey. Cody and I are good. We're good. We have a good partnership. So yeah, it did seem like that was a 180. I don't know. Maybe she watched footage from the previous season or something. And Janelle doesn't bat an eyelash when Garrison in the trailer or the teaser says, "You know what, Robin? Have him. We're all grown and don't need a father figure anymore." So the kids have clearly joined the anti-Cody and Robin movement. I mean, that's sad. And also, they do still need their dad as much as they say this. I mean, yes, they're grown, but I mean, I hope this is something that they can mend in the long run somehow. Like, I don't know how, but yeah, I'd like to see it. Mary, I guess, during the season, I mean, maybe someone told her what Cody was saying in the confessionals, but she ultimately, I guess, tells Robin and Cody that she won't be coming around as much and that it's not what she wanted. So, kind of like her hand was really forced. And Robin now has a full meltdown on camera, crying about how she wanted to be with her sister wives on a porch with her kids and grandkids. I do have a lot to say about this. Her fantasy about the wives on the porch that she's always talking about. She's brought this up before. It's like a fantasy. And even if they were all still with Cody, the relationships were not where, they would have been like that on the porch. And she wasn't exactly acting like the wife that wanted to be on the porch with the wives. So I don't know. Like, it's a good image in your head, but in practice, yeah, she just needs to like mourn that whole porch thing. And it'll probably just be her and Cody on the porch. And sometimes life changes and you just gotta roll with it, Robin. So Cody says that he tried to do everything right and it didn't work. So now he should just be the devil you think I am now, with this breathy, scary voice. I think a lot of us fans would say he, like from our perspective, like we certainly don't think he did everything right. Not everyone does everything right. And I mean, come on, really? Everything right? I don't know. And the final scene in the teaser is just something else altogether. I was kind of cringing the whole time. Like, should we have witnessed this? I don't know. But Janelle tells Cody to shut his you-know-what mouth. And he's like, no, 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 no. And gets up and leaves. And then there's cursing. Imagine being the camera guy on that one for a second. Like, very cringy, very family drama, dark, not anything, we would ever want for that family. I'm guessing this will be a big scene in the new season, just like the knife in the kidneys last season. I think. I don't know. I don't know even if they've shot everything yet. It's just a teaser. It's not even the trailer. When the trailer comes, maybe we'll have more of a set, look or something. Okay, guys, so the Browns are falling completely apart. We knew this, and I guess we'll be seeing it unfold from August 20th. Like, I'm scared to see what happens this season. I hope it's, somewhat enjoyable. I'll definitely be tuning in and doing recaps. August 20th, guys, mark your calendars. It's Sister Wives time. All right, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye! This is a Sister Wives deep dive about every house Cody, Mary, Janelle, Robin, and Christine have lived in since 2010. So since starting to film the show Sister Wives, the Browns have lived in over 15 houses combined. They've moved a lot, so let's take a quick tour of everywhere they've lived and watch until the very end for details about Christine's brand new house in Utah. In the meantime, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Sister Wives updates. At first, when we were introduced to the Browns, they shared one large house in Lehi, Utah, and by all appearances, they seemed like a functional, happy family living under one roof. We had no idea how badly everything would unravel. The house was over 6,000 square feet with 3 separate apartments all connected on the inside. So it was 3 apartments that had their own entrances, kitchens, laundry rooms, and master bedrooms. So each wife had their own space, and the house was actually designed for a plural family. We know that Christine really actually hated living on the lower floor, also called the basement, and her experiences there led to her saying heck no when Cody wanted to live in one big house again down the road years later. Janelle felt that Mary was restricting access to her area or even her stairs in Lehigh for the children, and that also seemed to be like a point of conflict. But early in the show, they didn't talk about that. It's only later that we found out. The Browns ended up leaving the Lehigh house in a hurry when they thought the police were investigating them for polygamy. In 2011, they packed their bags and basically ran away to Las Vegas, where they embarked on a new adventure in a new state. Cody had pitched it as a fun place full of games for the kids, but they started struggling immediately living apart. They were all in these Spanish-style rentals, far from each other, but within the same school district that they liked. That's how they chose where they wanted to be. And the teenagers, and probably especially Hunter, really struggled to adjusting to Vegas. So it's super ironic that Hunter is living there now as an adult working in healthcare. Fun fact. So eventually, a huge storyline was that they were trying their best to build new houses for every wife on a cul-de-sac, and getting approved for the mortgages was no joke, because it was nerve-wracking, especially for Robin, because she had accumulated some debt coming out of her last marriage. But they did actually get the new houses built, and they were thrilled. This was peak happiness. Mary got her wet bar and thought she had the best kitchen. They were in a gated community, and apparently Robin had a trampoline and playground in her backyard. According to the Las Vegas Review, the first floor of the houses had several den office spaces, plus a bonus room behind the kitchen. The master suites were mostly on the first floor, and all the other bedrooms were on the second floor, with 2 bathrooms with full baths. So the houses were beautiful. It was a huge upgrade from wherever they had ever lived before. The family seemed to have a lot of great years in the cul-de-sac in Vegas, but Cody got the itch, seemingly out of nowhere in 2018, to move away and get away from Vegas, the place that he had pitched so well as a fun place. Yeah, he was not enjoying anymore. And the wives weren't really on board initially, given that they were so settled there and that some of their kids were in the middle of their high school years. So he changed their mind, and they ended up buying the Coyote Pass property in Flagstaff, Arizona. Yes, despite the real estate agent telling them that the coyotes that go there have the plague. I mean, they loved the pond for some reason, saw the angels singing, and just went for it, selling their homes in the nice cul-de-sac that they had tried so hard to get, and moving once again into rentals far away from each other in Arizona until, whenever they could afford to build on Coyote Pass with no infrastructure whatsoever there. So just deciding which plot of land they would all get, who will be in the trees, seemed like a never-ending saga for seasons and seasons. Christine ended up buying a house in Flagstaff, and initially Janelle, Mary, and Robin rented. Mary and Janelle lived in multiple rentals there. Mary had one rental where she had to move out because of angry neighbors. The next one she had an elevator. It was gorgeous, but the driveway looked really hard to go up. And there was another one that was really nice, but she recently moved out of that one. And honestly, she seems to have moved out of Flagstaff and moved to Utah near or at her B&B, Lizzie's Heritage Inn. But this is kind of based on fans seeing Mary with moving stuff or whatever. Mary's never confirmed anything. It's probably going to be on the next season. We just suspect that she does live in Parowan, Utah now. Lizzie's Heritage Inn used to be owned by Mary's ancestors. She had said at the grand opening on Instagram, "This is an old family home of mine, built by my great-great-grandparents in 1970 and occupied by 4 generations until it sold out of the family in the 1980s. So it was a dream to get it back in the family." Robin ended up buying an almost $1 million house, and the down payment was paid for, according to Janelle, in part with the money she had from the sale of her Vegas house, which is pretty controversial. It's huge inside Robin's house. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house in Flagstaff. It sits on multiple acres of land, has 2 master suites, a 4-car garage, and like a really nice kitchen. So this is where Cody spends most of his time, clearly. And in my opinion, it's the most luxurious option. So then, when things fell apart between Christine and Cody, she sold her house in Flagstaff. The house had a great view and 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It's there where Cody and Christine had the infamous argument while he was like installing a door to stop the cat from going into certain areas. That Christine and Cody had an argument, and Christine says that Cody said that they weren't going to be intimate anymore. And it was really the kiss of death to their marriage. Christine started like packing up his stuff immediately, etc. So Cody wanted Janelle to buy Christine's house, but Janelle wanted to do her own thing. She wanted her own house, and Janelle ended up living in an RV on Coyote Pass to try to push things forward on the property. She also lived in an apartment for some time, and seems like some of her pushing for Coyote Pass may have worked, because according to reports, 2 plots of land now have been paid for. So the door may be open for Janelle to build a home there. But I mean, does she still want to do that now that she's separated from Cody? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. But as of now, Janelle lives somewhere in Flagstaff that has a good patio. She said, "The place I'm living now has a great patio. I've always wanted a great patio where it wasn't so blazing hot Vegas so you could sit outside. So I splurged on some patio furniture this year, and I'm loving my coffee on the patio. This is a cool, peaceful Sunday morning." So who knows if Janelle will end up building on Coyote Pass or not at this point, but, you know, we want her to be happy where she is. Christine then ended up in a townhouse in Utah, her first place as like a single woman, and recently bought a brand spanking new house with her fiance, David. This is a whirlwind romance. I'm not sure they've known each other a year yet. Not sure about that. She and David got this house for $770,000 in March 2023, according to reports. And we know that she's looking to build a lot of fun stuff in the backyard for the grandkids. That's like the idea. She wants like a large counter when she can have a cool drink setup for entertaining, plus a hot tub, shed, fire pit, a garden. She also wants like a playground for the grandkids with like a sunken trampoline and a spot for RVs. Who knows, maybe so that Janelle can park hers there. Who knows? They are also building like a bigger deck in the back, and overall everyone's extremely happy for Christine to have this new house after, you know, all the years even living in the basement, right? I mean, Christine deserves this new house, guys. All right, let me know what you think of all this in the comments. Which house you thought was the best? Which, you know, who has the best house? Chime in below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys. Let's talk Sister Wives behind the scenes. Here are the top 5 behind the scenes Sister Wives moments for July 2023. Number 1. Mary was spotted by someone on Facebook. They posted a picture of Mary filming at Lakai, which is interesting because that's where Aspen actually married Mitch. I have absolutely no idea why she would be filming there at a party or wedding venue, but it must be some type of storyline. At best, it could be for Leo's wedding or a party for them, or at worst, for some vow renewal with Cody. Could you imagine? Good to see Mary filming, because some reports said that we wouldn't be seeing her much next season. But like someone in the comments said, we're probably going to find out what she's doing there at Lakai in like 3 years. So, I mean, given how delayed the seasons have been, right? Number 2. Remember when Christine, Janelle, David, and Madison went to a Plexus convention in Nashville earlier this month? Well, there's some tea. So according to an article by TV Seasons and Spoilers, They talked about Cody on Father's Day at a Nashville bar, which is somewhat behind the scenes salacious. As per The Sun, who I think had actually had a photographer out there in Nashville somehow, they were talking about Cody and the other wives. The eyewitness disclosed that they had a deep and animated discussion for almost 3 hours. Robin and Mary's names came up while Christine lost her cool and claimed that Cody had been stressing her out. So the insider further said that David mentioned meeting one of the wives twice who gave him weird looks. I just feel like that could have been Robin. That's my opinion, just because she tends to show her emotions during family sit-downs or get-together the most likely to make a face. The article said that Madison also talked about how their family show had become volatile and that Cody had cut them off completely. So that is sad. I don't really get that. I don't understand that because, I just don't. Sounds completely chaotic. And honestly, I'm not surprised they were talking about family drama in the slightest. I would have been shocked if they didn't talk about the family drama at dinner in Nashville. But I feel kind of bad that an eavesdropper spilled the beans and now we're all talking about it. But I guess it is what it is. Number 3. Someone on Reddit said that they actually met Aspen at Kendra Scott, and as expected, she was lovely. The person said, "I'm visiting Salt Lake City, walked into Kendra Scott at City Creek Mall, and she was there. I gasped and introduced myself. We chatted for a good 20 minutes. She is so kind and beautiful. Didn't ask for a pic because I felt so awkward, but wow, she's so sweet." Number 4. Someone took a picture with Christine wedding dress shopping, guys. She was there with her mom, her daughters, and I'm assuming a film crew. I mean, that's a moment they need to capture. The person who posted the picture said, "Talk about a beautiful bride-to-be. Wedding dress shopping was fun and fabulous. Love you, sis. And I sure love these 2 mamas of ours, too." So this could be like a friend of Christine. And she got 30 likes on that post at best, I believe. I mean, if I take a picture with Christine, I need more likes than that. I mean, come on. And number 5, Christine is so famous that now she gets notes from the stewardesses on the airplane. She posted this picture of a note that someone left her recently, and it was so sweet. It said, "Mrs. Brown, soon to be Mrs. Woolley. Thank you so much for flying Delta. It was nice to meet you and David. Thank you for showing girls everywhere that we all deserve our prince and to be happy." I mean, so nice. And that's it for my roundup of 5 behind-the-scenes Sister Wives moments for July 2023. Hope you guys follow my channel, and also don't forget to like this video and comment below. Thank you guys. Bye! Hi guys, I have some breaking Sister Wives Coyote Pass news. It looks like somehow, some way, 2 plots on the land on Coyote Pass were actually paid off recently. Hell has officially frozen over. The Sun was the first to report this, and now it's everywhere. In an article by InTouch, it said, "In addition to the plot of land in Cody and Janelle's names that was paid, another plot in wife Robin Brown's name was purchased for $170,000 was also paid." So, because of course he also paid for Robin's, right? Cody and the wives had originally bought the entire Coyote Pass land for like $820,000 in 2018 when they super hastily moved to Flagstaff from Las Vegas. And ultimately, they divided the land in 5 sections after many painful to watch discussions about where each wife would build, and mostly about if Mary wanted to be in the trees or not in the trees, and even about if Mary could be next to the dirty pond. They literally talked about it all and argued for 3 seasons. And who can forget that time Cody had secretly made some draft or plan to have everyone live in one big house, and he tried to like pitch it to the family during Christmas. It did not go well. It almost ruined Christmas, and Christine was the one who stopped that from happening entirely. On the show, they made it clear that they could not build until the land was paid off. This was a big barrier for them. And Janelle had insinuated last season that, you know, because she does the taxes and the accounting, she saw that money was going to other places. By end of last season, I swear, I felt like no one cared about Coyote Pass anymore, and that the possibility that any one of them would ever build there was like super slim to none. They were all jumping ship, and who wants to live next to their ex? So the $1 million question is, why are they paying it down now after all these years, and now that Cody and Janelle are separated? Are they going to build on those 2 plots of land they paid off? I honestly thought that they were going to just sell it off. It would have made perfect sense to sell and give Janelle money so she can have money for a down payment for another house or something like that. I guess we'll have to wait, but could it be that Janelle still intends on building there with her greenhouse dream and living next to Robin? I mean, she does love Coyote Pass for some reason, because it just seems like an interesting choice. Why would you want to do that? Can you imagine willingly moving next to your ex and his wife that you don't really like? It's awkward. It's really awkward. But Janelle's doesn't let things get awkward that much. Or another controversial option, did Janelle take Cody back? Like, why else would she be moving forward or paying off her plot of Coyote Pass? I just make it make sense for me. Whatever it is, and especially if they're building, this has the potential to be a major storyline on the show for Sister Wives season 18 or the next one even. We're talking like a lot of episodes arguing about building and stuff. Like, remember when they were talking about wet bars and all that when they were building out the cul-de-sac in Vegas? That was a major storyline for a long time. So at the very least, it would give them something interesting to talk about or argue about for like another long time. More lawn chair conversations, but I'm trying to visualize where Sister Wives is like going moving forward